there, I know you can't see the seam until you get on top of it, but in the corner there's a seam there. And all fabricators are different. I can't tell you which one they do because sometimes they do one and sometimes they do a different one. But they have two different kinds of seams. There's a hard seam and a soft seam. And most companies are really good about getting their seams together, especially the two companies that we work with. I mean, I can vouch for them. I know their seams are really good. And they just have different seams. So some people, I mean, it's some kind of the soft seam. This is where I need Daryl because he's the engineer of it all. But the soft seam is like a Daryl, do you know soft seams and hard seams? Can you give us a little information on granite?
Depends on who gave you the description to begin with, what you're asking.
Well, no, I'm trying to describe them, and I wanted some professional opinion.
I really can't give you a great description.
Daryl, we're counting.
That's why we just sell the stuff.
Just say something, Daryl.
If you're talking about information that you got recently from...
I was telling them what they were. I'm not giving
I've never
information from
heard of
anybody.
it described differently.
Oh, okay then.
That's why I'm asking
All right.
where the information came from.
Oh, okay. Then, I mean, it's all just up to the fabricator, really, like what they use. And when you go out and pick your slabs out, you can talk to them about that, and they can tell you. How's that for getting out of it? Seals, you can go into that.
We get asked about sealing it. I mean, I get asked every time someone comes in here for a countertop. And it's a great question. Because it used to be that you would have to have a company come in and seal it, and it's a process, and it's expensive. It's not like that anymore. It really isn't. All it is it's a spray bottle. You spray it on, you let it set for 15 minutes, and you wipe it off. And I would recommend, instead of spraying it on all over, do areas, so you know exactly where you've gotten the sealer and you go along. You can do it yourself. I was just asked this from a homeowner, I think it was last week, and he had asked me about, there's a grant, or I think it was actually at Lowe's or one of the big box stores, that there's a sealer out, and I guess it's like a 25-year warranty. I'd be leery of that. I'd be very leery of that, because if you do not keep the maintenance up on a granite, unfortunately, a lot of things are going to take toll on your granite. I mean, cleaners, even just our fingers and our oils in our fingers, food, that's going to get down into the actual stone, and it's going to start leaking in it. And then you're going to get, maybe you set something down not very heavy, and you see this little crack or this hairline crack, and it's because, unfortunately, you didn't keep the maintenance up. If you keep the maintenance up, and we usually recommend about every year or so, and it kind of depends on how much you use your kitchen as well too. Or even if it's in a bathroom or a vanity or a powder room that you don't use that often, you don't have to keep it sealed as often. But if you keep the maintenance up, your granite is going to look beautiful for all the years to come.
I tell people all the time, like, if you don't remember, okay, January 1st I have to seal my granite, I would not be good at that. I tell people to drop some water on it.
Yeah.
If it stays up and beads on top, you're fine. And do this on an area where you use it the most, like an island, because that's your prep area, or wherever you want, by your sink or something. But drop some water on it. If it beads up, it's, you're good. If it starts to soak in, it's time to use your sealant. It's very easy, very, very minimal task. So
I've never sealed mine. In fact, I didn't mind the variation. Like a wine stain. I'd take a little bleach and out it would come. And there's some areas that are kind of dark. Well, there's some. So now I'm wondering if I should evidently seal it. I found the variation for one's like a little pink in one spot, and it's mine.
yeah, because it's granite. Most of the time you can't even tell if you've got like a spot on it. I know.
Variation. But okay. Now, do I need to prep that somehow before I seal it?
No.
Because am I sealing all the impurities that I put in it?
You can get a cleaner
Yeah,
/ sealer. They come in bottles. There's a cleaner and there's a cleaner / sealer, and then there's just a sealer.
But maybe use a cleaner on it first.
Yeah,
I might recommend that.
Though I know people that have never, ever, once in its life, sealed granite, and it's still beautiful. It just doesn't have the high polish,
But you said it would start chipping.
No, I mean,
chip.
it may get hair defects, you don't even know unless you're down looking at them.
And that's just a could.
Yeah.
You might not seal it and it might look beautiful forever. But you could just maybe set something down on it and, you know, you look down and think, oh, where did that hairline crack come from?
And those could be's, the reason that they tell you that is because it's natural stone. It's straight out of a mountain.
Right.
Who knows what can happen to it? So they're trying to prevent things from happening.
So it's kind of a prevention.
Yeah, because nothing could happen to it, you know, but
There's
there's always that
nothing
chance, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about some particularly intensive use of countertops like baking or I think it's maybe candy baking or something like that? Are there any things that you should be doing to protect your countertop? in
Just
general?
that cleaner.
Just the
sealer.
sealer
Okay, but
for the granite.
if you bake bread every week, for example, would you have to seal it more often or?
Yeah, that's where it comes into play, where it all depends on how much you use it. Do that test. Drop that water on it, and if it starts to seal in, okay, I need to seal my granite more often. You know, I have to, do
Will it
that.
get a buildup, like, the old wax when you wax your floor?
No, I mean, it's a sealant, it's made to use once a year. It's not an every week type of thing. And when you go and buy your cleaner / sealant, if you buy it in a spray bottle and you want that cleaner, try and get a cleaner, and don't do a cleaner that has a sealant in it if you're going to use it like every week. I mean, it's a $25 bottle, or $16, something like that. It's not something you're going to use every single day. Go buy $4.09 for that, or some multi-purpose stuff, because you're still cleaning it. Whatever you clean it with is going to be fine. It just, don't seal it every week, because yeah, you can do a buildup, and after it's kind of like medicine. The more you take it, sometimes your body doesn't do anything anymore. It could be like that, but again, it's stone. No one knows what can happen to it. So yours may be different from the person next door to you. So I wouldn't seal it every week. I just seal it as you need it, which usually is typically only once a year. So Steve?
Yeah, I brought up the bread making thing because I actually do that quite often. And one of the reasons I like to change from our current laminate is that because it is textured, the only way to get that clean is to get a scrub brush out and scrub it because there's so much texture to it. Whereas I'm hoping that if we go to either a Corian or to one of the stone products, that we get away from that. That's pretty much true. Be so smooth.
I mean, if you've ever been to like Cold Stone Creamery or any of those ice cream shops, they have marble and granite down as their ice cream making area. So I mean, that's what it used to be used for, and it's on old furniture and old pieces that used to be in kitchens for actual baking and making things. So they can withstand, granite and quartz are going to withstand more harsher atmosphere than anything else.
If you think about it, granite has been around, marble has been around forever. I mean, if you go overseas, that's what you see. You see
that's
marble,
all
you see.
yeah.
So, it's been around for a really long time, and it holds up really well if you take care of it and keep that maintenance up.
The marbles have a lot of patina, as you say. It seems like they do some same.
Marble's softer too.
It's a little bit softer than a granite too.
Mm-hmm.
Good question though. Good question.
Do you have a big marble piece to roll your dough on?
I don't. That's why that would.
You can have one made. Put on top of your countertop.
If you get granite or quartz on your countertop, ask to have your sink cut out. You can keep your own sink cut out and put feet on the bottom of it and use that. You can have it. If you just want it just straight raw, you can have it for nothing. If you want it polished, they'll just charge you a polish and buffing fee, and you have an extra piece, but it's going to be a lot less than if you went out and had one made. But because you're not paying for the actual material, you're just paying for the labor at that point. So, yeah. I have a lot of people.
Don't try to move it too often.
Right, yeah. Put it somewhere where you don't have to move it. Yeah, it's gonna be